Hi, my name's Ruan and this is my channel, The Yorkshire Sew Girl. I hope you're all really well. I'm good. It is a Saturday today for me. I'm not sure when this video is going to go out, but it's a Saturday right now. And I am very aware that I look a little bit like Goldilocks. But bear with me, because I'm going out tonight. I'm off to The Gathering, which is a lovely sewing evening event that's been organised by my lovely friend Sam from Frugalissima, Donna from Size Me Sewing and Ali from Thimbers. So I'm off out tonight. I'm very excited. There's my little sneak peek of a dress there that I'll be wearing tonight. I may do a video on that actually as a separate one altogether, thinking out loud. Anywho, yes, I think I'll do that. My Northern Soul sisters can't make it with me tonight though, which is very disappointing. They've both got prior arrangements. How very rude. But I do have the lovely Agnes from Sew Agnes and my friend Lucy from Geek Petite coming to stay with me tonight. So the three of us will be heading over there. So I'm very excited. So that's why I look like this. I will be combing all of these locks through later and hopefully just have nice wavy hair, but we'll see, because there's always one little bit. I don't know about you, anybody that curls their hair, there's always one weird bit that sticks out. Anyway, what am I wearing today? Always forget what I'm wearing, and now I can't remember what I'm wearing. I'm wearing, it's Seasons of East, but I can't remember the name of the top. It's what I made for Sew Yellow Ferendo with some fabric that lovely Adam from Adam Sews sent over, and I'm just knocking about the house. I feel a bit sexy in it though, because I got a shoulder out. There was a lady who put a comment actually when I was about to make this that said, "Oh, that top though with the shoulder out, I always want to hoik it up when I see other people wearing it." So you'll be wanting to hoik me up now. But yeah, I've got a little cheeky shoulder popping out. Feeling myself this morning, all glam, all chilled out. But what I thought I'd do while I'm all glammed up and ready, and I've got a spare little bit of time before Agnes and Lucy get here, is talk to you about some of my makes. Now, a while ago, it'll have been probably January, I did a vlog about my plans for my holiday that was in February. And I picked out 4 different things that I wanted to make with 4 different fabrics that were all very similar colourways. And I talked you through what I was planning to do. And I'd like to just let you know that I actually managed to make all 4 of them. So I'm very, very pleased with my little self. So I've got my little book, my little project book here. And I thought I'd just quickly talk you through what I made and my thoughts on each of the things. Now, 2 of them were patterns I'd made before, which we all loved, don't we, when we've made a pattern before, because we know what it's going to come out like. And 2 were brand new patterns to me as well. So one of the patterns that I had actually made before was the Coco Waha Plum Dress. And this is my version here. Now, I would say this is possibly one of my favourite dresses ever, which is really weird because when I first made the Coco Waha Plum Dress, halfway through I was kind of like, I don't think this dress is for me. It's quite an oversized baggy type of look, blah, 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 blah. But then I loved it when I wore it. So I definitely wanted to make another one for my holiday. I made it in this amazing tomato red double gauze that I was gifted from Rainbow Fabrics quite a while ago now. And it was just sat in my stash waiting for an opportunity. And I thought, you know what, on holiday, double gauze, breathable, light, cool, be perfect. And I wanted a solid colour dress. So I finished the binding off here with some bias binding that I think I got in a Sew Hayley Jane box. I just thought that was really super cute. And when you've got it on, you can't actually see it. So it's kind of like that when you've got it on, she says, with it poking out. So you can't actually see the binding when you're wearing it. But me being me, obviously I had to jazz it up a little bit. So I've recently acquired, when I say acquired, bought a Baby Lock Acclaim, which is just the love of my life right now. And I wanted to try out the rolled hem on it, and I thought, do you know what, just to jazz it up a bit, I'm going to put my rainbow thread in. So I have done on the flounces here and also on the hem a little rainbow rolled hem, which was great then because I didn't have to press it, sew it down or anything like that. It was just kind of bish bash bosh done. And then on the back I chose lots of different odd buttons. Why not? These were, I believe, from a Sew Hayley Jane box as well. They were all odd ones, but I needed 5, so I picked out another odd one that I had, which was yellow, and I think that looks really nice with the rainbow trim. So yes, this dress is a nice kind of buffet style dress. I absolutely love it. It goes from sizes, let's have a look. Oh, so there's two different things. I have this on a free pattern that I got from a magazine. And with that pattern, it's a bit more, it's less size inclusive. It's only sizes 6 to 24 if you manage to find it on like eBay or something like that. But you can buy it direct from the website, and there's two size ranges actually. I'm looking down here because I've written it down. So there's a UK size 6 to 24, which is a cup B, and then there's a UK size 18 to 36, which is a cup D. So plenty of options there, which is really good, and a really nice size range. So that goes up to a 60-inch bust, 54-inch waist and 63-inch hips. So really nice and size inclusive. Now my sizes came out on a 7 on the bust, an 8-9 on the waist and an 8-9 on the hips. However, I sized down to a 6. Check me out. I know, and I think from the pictures that I'm hopefully putting in somewhere, you will agree that actually it fits me really nicely because it is very oversized. I'm glad I've sized down. I think if I'd have gone for more the 8/9, I think it might have, you know, when I talk about it would wear me instead of I would wear it. So yeah, I sized all the way down to a size 6. That gave me 46 inches across the bust and I'm 43. So I had 3 inches even downsizing. So I was very happy with that. What have I written in? Do you want to see my little picture that I did? Look at that. Honestly, I should get an award for dreadful drawing. I've just put, fabric was really good to work with. The colour's so vivid, definitely my colour. Now, I've talked about it previously, but I have had my colours done, and that bright tomato red came out as one of my colours, which I was really surprised about. And from the photos, it's definitely proven itself to me that red is definitely one of my colours. It's a fairly easy make. The instructions are okay. Obviously I've got the free version, so they do tend to be a little bit on the shorter side, the instructions. So it'd be interesting to see what it is if you buy the PDF direct from the website. There's a bit more instructions in there, but it was okay, just wasn't extensive, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say about it. What do you think? I loved wearing it on holiday. I wore it with my hair up because it was so hot, and little gold sandals, and something that was so plain, because you know what I'm like, I like a lot of pattern. I felt really good in it, and it's made me think maybe I should explore some more plain makes as well. But not for the time being, because, you know, these makes certainly ain't plain other than that one. So let's move on to another one. Let's talk about this one here, which is the Pattern Emporium Ocean Daze very oversized shirt. And it is very oversized. There's lots of different versions to this. I won't go into them too much detail because I have done that on a previous vlog, but I decided I wanted to do the kind of dress version of this. So if I hold it up, you can see it's very long and it kind of curves up. It's got a curved hem which comes up to here. Now, when I discussed making this in my plans video, a few people said just be careful because it goes up quite a bit at the side and you might think it's a bit too much leg, cheeky leg. So I extended it. I increased it by 4 inches, which is quite a lot. And I'm glad I did actually, because it was perfect to wear kind of over a swimsuit or just on its own, like as a dress. The only thing I would like to do is find my scraps and maybe make, because I think I have got some, and make a belt out of the same fabric just to cinch it in the middle a bit if I'm wearing it as a dress. But yeah, I absolutely loved this. So I've made it in this fabric that I had in my stash from Beyond the Pink Door. I actually got the green colourway of this, but someone messaged me and said, I've got the pink and I think you'd prefer the pink, which I did. Do you want to swap? So I can't remember who that was actually, but a lovely lady swapped with me and I got the pink and she had the green. I've just got some very plain white kind of mother of pearl buttons. I've no idea where I got those from, but I didn't want it to kind of detract from the dress because it's very busy, obviously. So it's a nice viscose. I've got a little tag in here, which is a little rosy cheeks one. And I think from memory, there's 2 different types of collar that you can do as well. I went with the simple collar and I really liked the construction of it, actually. It made it very neat and tidy. I've done quite a few different collars, but yeah, it came out nice. It's got a yoke across the back here, if you can see. And you'll probably notice I have tried on the front, I cut it out single layer to try and make sure that these lines were aligned. Because although it's a random pattern, I didn't want this to kind of be at the, you know, here, stopping here. So you'll see all the way down, even though it's a random pattern, that all the lines match all the way down, because I thought that might look a bit nicer. The collar's all kind of top stitched down, if you can see. Yeah, it's just really neat and tidy. You can add a patch pocket. I didn't do that. I didn't feel like I kind of needed to. I quite like a patch pocket when it's cut the wrong way round. So if you've got like a stripe fabric and then your pocket's the other way around, that's quite a busy print. So I thought, you know what, I don't think I'm going to need it. Now this pattern comes in sizes 4 to 30, which is a bust of up to 55 inches, a waist of 49 inches and a hips of 59 inches. But again, I sized down quite considerably on this. Now I knew it was oversized. And my bust came out as an 18, waist as a 20 and hips as an 18, but I actually made a 16 all over. So I sized down between 1 and 2 sizes, and I think I could go down again, to be honest. That gave me a finished garment measurement all over, so bust, waist and hips is all the same, of 56¼ inches. So my hips are my largest point, which is 46 inches, so I still had 10 inches of ease, so I knew I was going to be more than okay with that. The instructions are excellent. If you've ever had a Pattern Emporium pattern, there is a lot and it can be a bit overwhelming to start off with, but when you break it down, because there's so many different versions to their patterns, there's a lot of instructions, but it gives you a title at the beginning of each part of the instructions. You know, are you doing the short sleeve version? Skip to this. Are you doing the dress version? Skip to this step. So it's quite easy to actually follow when you just break it down step by step. But so yeah, you can kind of skip big parts of it. So it looks like it's really extensive, but it isn't when you're actually looking at the bits that you need to do. But yeah, I mean, obviously I've sized down. I'd like to make a belt to cinch it in, but it's just so lovely for the pool as well. I've got like a fuchsia pink swimsuit, obviously, and I enjoyed wearing that over it as well. And then I wore it out again during the day as just like a dress. So yeah, really happy with the fabric. It was just stunning, and I'm really glad to use it up because it's one of those fabrics that I just adored, but I couldn't see myself necessarily wearing it every day, whereas for holiday, you're almost a bit more outrageous, aren't you? And for the buttons, I just did my own button placement. I checked where the apex of my bust was, popped a button there, and then I used my button gauge to decide where the rest of them went, and I went right the way down as well. I think I might have put more buttonholes in than it actually required, but unlike most people, I really enjoy doing buttonholes. I feel like that was a really major confession. I love doing buttonholes. Sometimes I don't even practice them before I do it on the real thing. I know, I'm a rebel, right? So that was make number 2. So then another make that I have made previously is the Saltwater Slip by Friday Pattern Company, and this is my 4th version. And there'll be more, I know there will, because I just love it. It's so easy to wear. So it is like a little just simple slip dress. You've got ties that you can put on if you want, or you don't have to. You've got adjustable straps with hoops here, little rings, and then bra sliders here, so you can adapt the length of the straps, which I love because I'm not a big fan of having to keep basting in like straps onto a top or a dress and then taking it off, trying it on again, basting it in again, trying it. Whereas this gets rid of all of that, and you can pick these up quite easily, like on eBay and Amazon and things like that. So I've got a little bit of a stash of them. So yeah, I absolutely love this. Obviously I'll be putting photos in so you can see them properly. The fabric is, so at the time when I bought this fabric, I wasn't buying any fabric. In my head anyway, I was like, no, you're not buying any more fabric. But I saw this fabric and I sent it to Rachel and Tamlin, and I was just like, be still my beating heart. And they were like, that's got your name written all over it. I was like, I'm not getting it. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Yeah, I'm doing it. So it was about a week later that I went on because I couldn't stop thinking about it. I do that quite often. I'll love a fabric and then I'll think, no, I'll sit and wait. And sometimes that pays off. Sometimes it doesn't because it's sold out. But if I can't stop thinking about it, then I'll go back and get it. So I don't know if I told you, but that was from Fabric Boutique, which I'd never shopped with before. And it is a stunning fabric. It's a crinkle viscose, which I think, as well as double gauze, might be my favourite fabric in the whole wide world. Dramatic, I know. But it has kind of like a natural give in it because it's got that crinkle look. You don't particularly have to iron it. And it's just really soft and comfy against your body. And I know I've talked about this before, but I really like fluid, drapey, soft things against my skin. So something like that is just absolutely perfect. Now, in this pattern, it's very size inclusive. It goes from sizes XS to 7X, which is a bust of up to 60 inches, a waist of up to 53 inches, and hips of up to 63. Now, I come out as an XL on my bust, an XXL on my waist, and an XXL on my hips, but I've sized down one size across all of them. So I've done a large on my bust and an XL on my waist and hips, and I've just graded the pattern, and that's worked really well. It depends what fabric it is. Because I've put a bit of weight on over the last year, one of my viscose versions is a little tad tight, whereas I didn't want to go up to what my actual size was because I knew this was a crinkle viscose and that it would have some give in it, and it's perfect. So I'm really glad. But if I was to make another one maybe in viscose, I may look at going up to my actual size, just so I don't have any tightness across the bust and the back. It's a really nice, quick, easy sew. It's got little bust darts as well, just to give you that little bit of shape, and then it's cut in two on the back, and you'll see a curve in the pattern piece, and that just means that it does kind of sit across your back before it hits your top of your bum. And it sits really nicely on there. Now the ties, you can tie around the front, around the back, or you can just not have them at all. I'm tempted on my next one to actually make the ties a lot longer, and then I can tie them around the back and around the front. That's what I think I'm going to do. But anyway, yeah. And the other thing that I really want to do is I want to do the hack of this dress next. So on the Friday Pattern Company website, there's a blog, and it's all about a hack that you can do on this pattern. And what it does is it gathers all the bust. So this is all pleated and crinkled here, and then it's cut under the bust, kind of almost empire line, and then it skims out. That's what I really fancy doing. I thought about doing it last summer and I never got round to it, so I think that's definitely going to be on my plans for this year. So I'll probably do that with a viscose, a nice viscose print, and then yeah, have it all gathered here. And I've got in my head maybe the tie-dye fabric that we got in the last So Hayley Jane subscription box, which is just stunning, and I think that would look really, really nice as the hack for the Saltwater slip. So yeah, huge fan of this pattern. You've heard me bang on it about it before if you actually watch my channel, so I'll shut up about it now, shall I? And then last but certainly not least is a make that I absolutely love. I mean, I love all of them. I was really pleased with all four of these patterns, but this one in particular was an absolute dream, and that is this pattern here, which is the Dovestone Dress by Isoso Studio. It's just beautiful. I mean, I can't really show you much here because it's too long, but it's got pockets. It's got a big slit up the front of it, but cherché, and then it's got straps that kind of go all the way round, and then you've got a couple of hoops on the back that you can then pull these straps around, and you can do loads of different versions. I'll pop some pictures in of me wearing it on my holiday because I felt like $1 million in this dress, honestly. I think depending on the fabric, you could kind of wear this to a wedding, or you could go in like you could use a plain fabric and have it as an everyday, like the short version, but there's so much you can do with this pattern, and I'll definitely be making this one again because I love it. But I think, you know, sometimes when you have a fabric and you have a pattern and the two of them just collide and that's it, and you're like, that is the pattern that I need to make. Now this fabric is like a viscose, kind of like a viscose satin almost, but like a matte. It's just stunning. And it came in one of my Beyond the Pink Door subscription boxes, and Andrea was very kind and she messaged me and said, I've put you a little bit of extra length in because I know this fabric is you. And boy, was she right when I opened it. I was just like, it's absolutely incredible. So I had a little bit extra, so I had more patterns to kind of explore, but I'd been very luckily gifted this pattern quite some time before with absolutely no obligation, and it had just been sat there waiting for the right moment, and that was the moment. So I whipped some of it up at Sewtoon when I went to Sewtoon one of the days, and then I finished it off at home. The fabric is just stunning. It's so soft and beautiful, pressed really well, but because it's got kind of almost like that satin in it, it was hard to work with, I'm not going to lie. I probably should have stay starched quite a bit of it, but I didn't. I just winged it, you know. But I had a really good go at it, and I'm so pleased with how it's come out. And I have got a scrap of fabric left, and I've got it in my scrap basket here, just to in case I need to make something else with it, because I love it so much. So this comes in sizes 6 to 34, which is up to a bust of 58 inches, a waist of 54.5 inches, and hips of 63.5 inches. But as you can tell by the design, the ease in it is very large, which is really good, because you're using then the straps and the ties to cinch it in if you want to. So there's lots of different ways you can do it. You can make it into like a halter neck. I just had it with the straps going straight and then crossing at the back. X Factor. And then I use the ties to kind of cross under my bust, which I absolutely love. It's almost like a Grecian look. But you don't have to do that. You can have it loads of different ways. And on the pattern, if I can find the pictures on the website, I'll pop them in here so that you can have a look at all the different ways you can wear it. And you can also have it short or long. So I think I'm tempted to make a nice short version for the summer. I think that would be lovely, particularly if you were to go on holiday. So without a doubt. Now, let's have a look. It also has different bust cups as well. And what it does is in the instructions, it gets you to write in your high bust, your full bust, and your waist and hips. And then it tells you which cup you should come out at. So I think there was a B cup and a D cup from memory. I came out as a B cup, and I came out as a 20 on my bust, in between a 20 and 22 on my waist, and in between an 18 and 20 on my hips. But I did a 20 all over. So I went with my bust measurement, and I just did that for all of it because there's so much ease in it, and it's going to be cinched in by the ties anyway, and I've got no issue with that whatsoever. It says it's a sewing level of 2 out of 5. I would think it's pretty easy. Obviously there's a lot of the tie that you have to make and then turn through, but other than that, I think it's actually a doable pattern, and you can make it in lots of different fabrics as well, but obviously it would be nice for it to be in a nice flowy one. I did struggle with the hem, and that is because I let it kind of drop for a little bit, but because of the ties, you have to have the ties tied exactly right for then your dress to drop, and it kind of went up a bit in the middle and then bowed down. So I struggled with that quite a bit, and in the end I lay it out really flat. Don't tell me off. I lay it out really flat on my cutting table. I did a lot of prepping of it, and then I got my rotary cutter and a big ruler, and I just whizzed across and chopped the ends off, and it's come out fine. Don't tell me off. You know what I mean. So yeah, I was really, really pleased with that. So all 4 of my makes, whoop, whoop. Do you not think I've done really well? I was really super excited with my little self. Quite nice as well to be using up fabrics from my stash. So 3 of those were from my stash. 1 was my new one from the Fabric Boutique. So yeah, delving into my stash. Now, before I go, I just want to talk to you about these. I know you see them creeping into my videos all the time. And if you've watched me for a while, you will know that I've been working with serious readers now for over a year, and this is my HD light, which is a Gemini option, which means there are 2 of these. Now you might be thinking, well, would I use these lights now that it's getting lighter here in the UK? But I use them all the time. So if for anybody who doesn't know, these are a light that use daylight wavelength technology, which means that they actually replicate the daylight as much as is physically possible. I use mine every single time I'm sewing. So obviously I do a lot of my sewing in the evening, and even with the summer nights coming, I still need these bad boys. An example actually is last night I was making this. Ta-da! and I was having some real problem with the neckband across the top of the shoulders, and I caught a little bit in my overlocker. So I had to unpick it. Luckily it didn't make a hole in it, but I had to unpick it, and it's quite a delicate fabric because it's a viscose jersey and it's like black and it's like weaved. So as I was doing it, I was nearly putting holes in it because I couldn't see the thread because it was black thread on a black background. So I had both of these bad boys programmed in on my top to be able to do it, and it worked really well. I mean, I was sweating. I was like, please don't put a hole in this. Please don't put a big massive hole in this. I really don't want to because I love the fabric so much. But I managed to sort it with the help of these. I'm not quite sure what I'd have done without them, to be honest. I probably would have had to wait until today, which delays things then, doesn't it? Because I wouldn't have wanted to carry on with rubbish lighting, because I would have definitely managed to put a hole in it without a doubt. But yeah, I thought I'd just quickly mention it because I do work with them, and they have got an offer code on at the moment for £100 off any of the HD range. So if you do want to go and have a look, I'll pop a link in the description box below so you can go and have a look. Please do use my code if you do fancy investing in one of these, because you get your £100 off, which is quite a lot of money. All you need to do is use the code SR517. But again, I'll pop the details in the description box below so that you don't have to try and remember that. But do go over and have a look because they are absolutely incredible. And I think I am going to invest in a floor standing one come winter to go over on my cutting table over in that corner. You can't see it, but it's quite a dark corner there. So I'm thinking about investing in one for that reason. And maybe a nice big tall one that I can then bend using these arms over my cutting table. That's my thoughts anyway. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that, but do head over and have a look. I hope everybody's all right. I hope everybody's had loads of time to sew, and I'll see you again soon in my next video. Take care. Bye.